What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. We are your hosts, Chase and Myles, and we are at the Lucky Duck. Welcome. And it's just me riding solo today. Myles is out snowboarding in Breckenridge, and but nonetheless, the show must go on. And in fact, we have a special guest today. His name is Anthony. Welcome, Anthony.
Howdy. I can hear the applause in the background.
Yeah. I have to add it in post. The one request that Anthony had to be on the show, to get him to agree to be on the show, was that Myles not be here. For some reason, he's got beef with Myles. I don't really understand it. I don't quite get it, but, it worked out.
No, I wish he was there. We've only had maybe 2 or 3 conversations, but... it's okay. It's okay. He called out sick, Breckenridge.
It's all good. He's fine. Here, man. Cheers. Thanks for being on. Thanks for
of course.
What's going to be a great conversation. We are drinking a elderberry margarita. So let's give that a sip. Let's see how it goes. God damn, I make a good drink.
Absolutely.
Fuck. So, elderberry margarita. It's got elderberry syrup in it.
Lovely.
It's got lime. It's got a little bit of triple sec, not as much as you would usually put in a margarita, and then of course lime juice and Patron.
This one you didn't put any Topo Chico in it, right?
No Topo Chico.
No Topo Chico. No, I think I like this one more, a little bit less.
Yeah,
for the fizz.
Yeah, a little less bubbly. It's not watered down at all. I did make a version of this with Topo Chico on New Year's Eve. I still like both, I love my Topo Chico. Anytime I can sneak Topo Chico into a drink, I will. I'm a big fan.
Right? You have the shirt.
I have a hoodie that just says Topo Chico on it because why not? Gotta represent.
Also a paid sponsor of the Lucky Duck, right?
Oh, massive sponsor. I got her in the background.
Got her in the back right there.
She's hiding, but she's here. If you guys want to check out the ingredients and what drink along, make it at home while you're listening, you can catch them all on Instagram, on the gram, and where you can find all of our drinks. All of the each episode we do a little cocktail, something simple, something not overly complicated. This is riding the edge a little bit. The elderberry syrup,
yeah.
Not quite common ingredient.
No, I have actually never even heard of an elderberry.
Really?
Never.
It's one of those things where it's like a Eastern medicine thing where you're supposed to take a shot of it if you're starting to feel ill, not well, and then it's supposed to boost your immune system. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a doctor. Just drink it. It's fine.
Once you add tequila, though, it's it's
a
little boost. So it gives you a little boost.
Yeah, it may neutralize the health benefits a little bit. Although tequila,
just about to say tequila.
Tequila is one of those alcohols that's probably least bad. It's the most healthy alcohol you can consume.
The most healthy pour option that you can do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're okay. We're sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty with this drink. I think I may burn a couple calories during this and not add any. So yeah. What do you bartend and
yes, I do.
And all that? What is your most favorite drink to make?
So the difference with my bar is that it's a Peruvian restaurant. So a lot of the drinks that we make are made with pisco. Pisco is a Peruvian liquor. It's made similarly to a brandy, but made with grapes instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it has the similar distillation process. But yeah, comes out, pairs with citrus. So we make a lot of drinks that are based around citrus. I would say if you ever get your hands on pisco, any kind of Chilcano variation, that's kind of my favorite thing to make over there. So it's ginger ale, pisco, some lime, and then another either juice or another kind of fruit juice as well to add that in. Super refreshing. The Peruvians hit it with that one. They really did.
Nice.
And they make some good food too. So it's good. That's good. I'd probably say Chilcano. So that'd probably be the next thing to look up. Anything made with pisco.
I'll have to check that out. What is like a typical popular Peruvian dish that they sell at the restaurant?
Most popular, I would say, are at least like an all-around Peru, a lomo saltado. So it's like rice, beef, sauteed onions, some fries. You can't beat it. It's kind of like the most basic thing you can get, like at least like
Yeah.
all around South America and any like like Hispanic Caribbean island. It's rice, beef, and
Yeah.
some other kind of starch maybe. But yeah, that's like the most popular thing. Or like my favorite thing is like a fried rice. They have a arroz chaufa, and that's it. It's like the best. It's Peruvian food is like Hispanic food and Asian food mixed together. And because like the descendants of Peru come from Asia.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the cooking is a amazing blend of Asian and Hispanic food. That's top tier. You can't get any better than that.
I wish Miles was here because he actually went to Peru this past year.
He can attest to it.
He can like, he can give his own opinion on it. But one of the things that he said, what was it? Was it llama meat or what's the animal that's
Lamb?
like? That's
Maybe
not
lamb?
lamb. Maybe it was alpaca.
Alpaca? They do have, they have alpacas there.
Yeah. Do they sell alpaca
No,
meat?
I don't think we sell alpaca meat. No, that'd be kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
I do want to try an alpaca burger. It sounds like it could be good.
I do want to go to Peru. Peru
Yeah.
has a lot of history. I really like big time has a lot of history. And a lot of like South American history too. So like, see like all the ruins over there and a lot of stuff is still pretty preserved. So they have a lot of history. That's definitely another thing on the bucket list to hit for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever been out of the country?
Yes. Couple times, cruising, to a couple islands or whatnot. Like Dominican Republic or Mexico.
Yeah.
But nothing like too crazy. Actually, I take that back. Sierra and I went on a cruise a couple months ago, and we got to see like some Mayan ruins that just been discovered as of like
Oh, dope.
like as a couple years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, they just discovered this, and
They're still discovering
they're
shit?
still discovering shit. They're
Dang.
still discovering it. I mean, because like all that stuff is still really preserved as well, and they don't like outside contact or at least like since a lot of South America is really like tourism heavy. For cruises or for resorts or whatnot. So a lot of the stuff they kept preserved, or they just like slowly but surely are starting to show their state's government, like the original people
Really?
of the lands. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Saw a lot of history. Saw a lot of like the old routes that they would take, like to trade goods and kind of like their homes and like their churches, bathhouses. It was awesome. And I'm a big history nut, so like that is like at least like I can't like name like historical events off like the top of my head, but like consuming history knowledge is like.
Do you have like what's your favorite time in history that you've learned about or love to learn
Would
more
love
about?
to learn more about is the Egyptians. I think pyramids.
Of course.
I think the pyramids just cool.
Right.
Just cool.
So, hot take, how did the pyramids, how did they come to be?
Well,
what do you think?
I believe that Earth has been, like spinning for so many years and going around the sun. We've probably had like so many natural disasters that haven't even been talked about, or at least like the records of have like been vanished. So I'm probably assuming that the ancient Egyptians were like, for the time period, super smart, and some natural disaster happened or something happened and we lost like all records of that. It's definitely, I mean, those people were just smart. I think it was definitely like, the people within Africa, everyone's like all in that region. They definitely built that up and we just lost records of things like being built. But I don't know, because it's like, it's so perfect, it's so perfect, at least like each like latitude and longitude, like what star they're facing, like the center point, like what star they're facing up in the sky. How like all of them are distanced and spaced out around Earth. Like
and they're all oriented
all of them,
specifically to like a square inch.
It's crazy.
I wonder if like the Library of Alexandria, when was that burned down? Because that was like a big massive loss,
big time,
to some of the records that they were able to preserve
a couple hundred years ago. couple.
Library of Alexandria burning. Let's Goog it. 48 BC.
Wow, a couple 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, a little
off,
a little long, but it burned by Julius Caesar during his civil war. What an asshole!
What a guy!
That guy wanted to burn some books.
Stab somebody in the back, and then got stabbed in the back.
It says that it's unclear how much was actually destroyed, and it seems to have either survived or have been rebuilt shortly thereafter.
But you never know.
Dang, Alexandria, Egypt.
Have you seen like that video of somebody was like parachuting over the pyramids, and like he got video of like what's at the top of the pyramids, like inscription, like all like the hieroglyphics at the top.
Really?
You seen that? Yeah.
No.
There's something like I saw it on Twitter, and somebody was like gliding over, and I got video of all like, because they don't let you anywhere near the pyramids. Like at least when you go to visit, like they keep you at a distance.
Really?
You're not allowed to like go anywhere near that at all.
No shit.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere near it. Or at least you get to like there's like a certain point that you can get to. You can't get past that. And you can't like, if I want to touch it, like I want to touch the pyramid. If I go there,
yeah, I want to be able to like see it really up close.
But no, you have to see it from like a distance.
That sucks.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they're probably holding some sort of knowledge, some sort of history they don't want the public to see or to know about.
Well, a lot of times the tourism just ruins everything.
Tourism ruins it,
A lot of people, like crowds, there's always that one guy that tries to break through the barrier and
some
like
guy who
run
parachutes over the
yeah.
Some guy who parachutes
over.
Yeah.
That may be been a situation though where he was like sponsored by either like the tourism board or like Red Bull.
Yeah.
Red Bull seems to get a pass at everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go up to space and like skydive down from space? Yeah, we'll let you do that. Totally.
Actually, just saw video came up on my Twitter of Travis Pastrana when he jumped out of the airplane like, with no parachute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't make people like that anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't make people
for
like
good
that
reason.
Yeah,
for good reason. That seems a little dangerous.
Oh yeah, quite. But hey.
Did you see when was it David Blaine went up in his balloon? His like he like strapped a bunch of balloons like in the movie Up.
He did it.
Yeah, and he like held on to it and he like floated up into the atmosphere. And he had to like have a tank of oxygen while he was up there.
I have not seen that.
And then jumped down. Yeah.
No, I have not. David Blaine is crazy.
He's crazy.
David Blaine is crazy.
Yeah.
No, if there's anybody I wish I could be, or I wish I could be David Blaine.
I think he recently hurt himself. Like he had a bunch of shows, and he ended up having to essentially cancel a few. Because he like hurt himself. Yeah, he injured himself during a Las Vegas performance. I guess he like
how recent?
Dislocated his shoulder after an 80-foot jump.
Hey,
back in March of last year. Yeah.
Damn, last year you can say that now.
Yeah, he's good now. He's good.
Man, he's like, have you seen things where he's like sticking like needles like through his hand and like having it?
Yeah.
Like he's
like
crazy. He's crazy. He's a crazy guy.
It's not like a contortionist, but it's one of those things where he like alters his body to make the illusion work. So it's basically a calloused hole in the middle of his hand, so he can like just fit needles through easily without actually like puncturing himself.
Like put like knives and everything like down his throat. Yeah. Like, nah, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I could do all that. I like to watch it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. But
I want to interview his like doctor or like his consultant that he goes to be like, hey, can I actually do this without killing myself?
He must sign a lot of paperwork. Be a lot of paperwork.
Because he's got to have like a crew of people who are like basically researching this for him. We're like, hey, like, no, if you do this, you're gonna die. Like, here's the proof.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, you can probably like probably had to figure out how to do that, right? How to alter his body where he can stick needles through it every night.
He has a good lawyer. He must have a good lawyer.
His insurance policy must be extra expensive.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no, he's crazy. I mean, no, David, I would sit like I don't know. It's been some time, but years ago I would sit and just like watch David Blaine videos like on
Oh
YouTube.
my God,
That's
yeah.
like that's the best like prop up, eat a good meal, and like just watch David
Just
Blaine.
watch him, yeah.
Yeah, go to work and
Unless he's like puking up frogs, then I can't
yeah,
eat
you
and
can't
watch
eat.
that.
No, that's
I'll
a poor
skip that
combo.
one.
Yeah, that's a poor combo. for
The one where
YouTube.
he like where he what was it stayed in a ice
In the
block.
ice, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was so bizarre. I don't know if I could do that.
That's like 10 years ago. Like,
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That was a long
That was
time
long.
ago.
And then he did the one where he was
It's
like
like floating in the air.
floating in the air. Yeah.
Nah. There's
I don't
levels.
know.
There's
A lot of
levels to
those
this shit.
Vegas performers, he's not like a Vegas guy, but he had like a residency, I guess. A lot of them, they have to like go through rigorous testing on like safety and things like that.
Yeah, I would
like. There's been
imagine so.
tons of accidents of just like people being stupid. One of the biggest shows in Vegas back in the day was it was like two gentlemen and they had the tigers. I'm trying to remember what the name of Vegas
Some sort of like circus.
Tiger show is a duo, Siegfried and Roy, and they were like these German magicians and entertainers that had like a massive residency there for years, and the show involved like a couple of tigers, like white striped tigers, and one of their last shows, the tiger like basically like attacked one of the guys.
Like with the performer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
tough.
it says here they're best known for the use of white lions and the white tigers in their acts. Their career came to an end in 2003 when Horn was critically injured by a tiger during a performance.
That's tragic.
Yeah, Roy was his name. Yeah, there's statues of them in front of, I think it's the Mirage, which is going to become the Hard Rock Hotel here soon. But yeah, I mean, I can't. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you're performing at Vegas though. You know, it's crazy. Speaking of Vegas though, you excited for it?
Vegas?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You going for a night?
Oh yeah.
good night, right?
I was gonna say. Well, I did go see U2 at the Sphere.
You went to go see him at the Sphere?
I did. Yeah.
What was that experience like? Did you get like I heard that there's like seating that's like
covered by
yeah,
mezzanine.
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have those seats.
Okay.
I was towards the back, but I was in the middle. I think like for those of you who are listening, if you ever want to go to the Sphere and experience it, whether it's like a show or they do these daily viewings where they play a video inside of it, and then at night they'll have like on the weekends they'll have actual musical performances.
That's crazy, man.
It was awesome. It was so sick. It's like nothing you've ever seen before, obviously, right? It's when I was sitting there, just to circle back what I was talking about with the seating, though, you want to get a middle seat because if you get too far to the edge, it doesn't like
Doesn't get the
completely
whole thing.
cover.
Yeah.
Because the screen does stop at a certain point, like on the edges,
Yeah.
and it's not like necessarily behind you. So getting one in the middle will give you that
But,
full
like, your field of
experience.
view.
Yeah, field of view would be like symmetrical instead of like slightly cut off on one end if you're too far over. But it doesn't really matter how close to the stage or the front you are, in my opinion, I think, as long as you're just in the middle. But there is a section down in the lower part of the seating where it does have like an overhang with like seats above you, like a mezzanine level above you. And yeah, people have been complaining because you can't get the
You look
top of the
up,
video
yeah, you can't
screen,
get anything.
which I totally would understand. I'd be kind of pissed if I spent that kind of money because those seats are more expensive than the ones I was in. Because
You're sitting closer.
Yeah, you're sitting closer to the stage. Yeah. But honestly, I wasn't even watching the stage most of the time because
You're like mesmerized by what's going on.
yeah, they have like all these cool graphics and they have video of the performers of it was U2 in this case on the screen while they have the graphics. So you can see everything without actually looking at the stage. So it was dope. I loved it. I can't wait to see what they do with like the lineup in 2024 of adding like musical guests and stuff. I would definitely in a heartbeat pay money to go see it.
Go see it again.
Janie, who was with me, doesn't really know you two at all.
I don't.
And
I don't know them because they had like an automatic downloaded song.
yeah, that's what like
everybody.
your generation knows them because they got automatically installed into your iPhone
many years ago.
Many years ago.
Many
yeah.
years ago.
But she had a blast and didn't know any of the songs essentially.
Just because just the setting itself.
Yeah.
It's just you're
You're
totally
entertained
engulfed
the
in, this
entire
whole
time.
thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy.
It's very
Who would you want to
immersive.
see there?
Who would I want to see there? I'd love to see Kings of Leon. I'm a big Kings of Leon fan, and some of the shows that I've been to prior have had like really cool, like trippy graphics to it. So if you had that on the big sphere screen, it would be like crazy cool.
Probably like a comedy show wouldn't be like the best use of.
No, I mean you
That
could. I would say I know the UFC is like in talks of doing a couple fights there, but you wouldn't be able to do that in the round. Usually in a UFC fight, it's like on all sides, but the stage is up against the side of the screen, so it's like amphitheater style, and with a big screen behind them, and so
It'd probably be very distracting for an athlete though. As like if
I guess and I suppose it would because I don't know, the screen is really impressive and it's uncanny, meaning like when you walk in and you sit down, they have like a pre-displayed image of a coliseum, like you're inside of a coliseum, and it's like they have like little birds flying, and you can't tell
that
like
you're not in there. Like,
that it's a part of the screen because it's just like there's the depth of field is like they can create an illusion, meaning like at one part of the show, this like the screen made it seem like the room was shrinking, and like the ceiling was coming down on you, and so they can like basically trick the eye and make you feel like you're somewhere you're not. But
still pretty crazy though.
The entire time I was there, though, I was like, why did they build? Like, I understand why they built this, but whoever signed off on this and was like, this is totally
totally worth it.
a good idea, was like out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're never gonna make your money back. Probably, I just don't see.
The light bill must be crazy.
The electricity, the upkeep, the maintenance on the thing is got to be extremely expensive annually.
Goes out like all the way in like the center of the whole thing. You gotta like get somebody to climb up.
Well, the thing is, the way it works is there's a layer between the outside shell LED and the inside shell.
That's crazy.
So I don't know how big that distance is between the two layers, but there's like scaffolding in the inside, so you can actually go to any point in that screen on the inside and change out the panel. In fact, during the show, there's a part where they remove one of the panels and a string is dropped all the way down to the stage. It's like from the center of the screen down to the stage,
like from like the ceiling, like from like the roof ceiling.
Ceiling, yeah, and so the string goes all the way down the stage. Bono, the lead singer of U2, takes the end of the string, holds on to it, and is walking around the stage. And at the top where the screen meets the string is like a balloon image that they put on the screen. So it's like he's carrying a balloon. And so like for an entire song, he's like walking around with this like rope, swinging the rope around with this balloon up top. And so somebody was up there, removed a panel of the LED, dropped the string down, and then at the end of the song, pulled the string up and then put the LED panel back. Yeah.
The guy who signed off on this is definitely crazy. That round table of like spitballing ideas.
They're like, are you sure you want to do this?
Like, fuck it. He's like, fuck it. Let's do this. Can I curse?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, let's just do it. He's like, send that shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm glad it exists, but yeah, it's one of those things where you would have a hard time getting investors to sign off on it because I just don't. I think it was only open since September, I think, was the first shows, and they had already lost like $75 million of operating.
Just how much it costs.
Operating revenue,
just keep it running.
Cost, yeah.
Anywhere else in Vegas that you have visited that you would recommend?
Like in terms of like a casino, hotel, or just place?
Anywhere.
Oh my God.
Got my parents going to Vegas soon, so I gotta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Christmas we got them. My brother got them a trip to Vegas.
Vegas is a very, there's nothing like Vegas anywhere else in the United States. It's like a dystopian society existing within like a desert, and there's like a metropolitan city around it. So there's tons of houses and suburbs basically that surround the thing.
But the center is like shit hits the fan. Like it's like it's game time.
Yeah, the only reason why that place exists is essentially because they needed to build a town for the railroad development across the United States. And so they put up casinos, and it just kind of exploded after that. It shouldn't exist. Like,
it was just by coincidence.
Yeah,
and
it's in the middle of a desert. It shouldn't exist. Like,
that's great.
But I mean, Vegas is. I always tell people you can only spend like 3 days in Vegas before
the crazies hit you.
Yeah, it's like I always say, the people who like lost everything and like sitting on the side, they stayed longer than 3 days.
They had a whole week trip.
Yeah, they stayed a little too long in Vegas, and Vegas consumed them. Vegas is like great for anybody who's any kind of person. If you're looking to gamble, obviously you got that component. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, it's great because 45 minutes away from downtown Las Vegas is some of the best rock climbing in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's Alex Hornell is the famous rock climber.
The Grand Canyon right there too.
Yeah, he lives there because of Red Rock Canyon.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Grand Canyon is like I think 4 hours away if you wanted to like drive to it.
4 hours.
It's 4 hours, yeah.
That's not right there.
Yeah, you could also
That's a drive. That's a day.
what's the not Eisenhower, the dam. What's
Hoover?
the Hoover Dam
Yeah.
is kind of close to that area too. So you could make a day trip to the Hoover Dam. But and also if you're into like exotic cars, it's an amazing place.
Car shows and everything.
They have car shows. I mean, the F1 is there now. They just had their the Las Vegas Grand Prix was there a couple months ago. In fact, I went to the U2 show. I think it was like 4 weeks after the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So I was kind of trying to see like had they taken everything down because they transformed the entire drag of the Las Vegas Strip into
like an F1.
Yeah, a racetrack.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they did a pretty good job by the time I was there. That you wouldn't even know the Grand Prix was there.
Vegas hosts the NBA Summer League, so I'm definitely I'm trying to make a whole trip of it's like the most like degen like absolute like degenerate like basketball junkie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you're betting
NBA,
on the Summer League,
you're betting on NBA Summer League. I'm a
you're
sicko.
deep.
I'm a sicko. Like I watch anybody play basketball, but I'm definitely gonna try to make a trip. Me and another friend and Sierra just trying to like get out there and just like watch basketball like all week. And live in that and then gamble the nights and then go back and
it's slowly becoming and has over the last 5 years of a really big sports destination.
Oh, big time.
So I mean, they have the Raiders there now. They had the A's are coming, which is MLB. They're actually tearing down the Tropicana, which is across from MGM and the Luxor and Excalibur hotels.
The Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA basketball team.
Yeah.
Just started there.
Champions, right?
Recent champions as well.
They have
last year.
They have the Las Vegas Knights, which is hockey.
Yeah,
they've won the Stanley Cup.
And NBA is probably gonna expand. Into
right.
Vegas.
Yeah, they're looking to do that. The Sands Corporation,
the family, right?
The family that owns the Sands Expo and all that.
The
Mavs.
Mavericks. Yeah, they were a big family that was looking to at least like initiate the expansion process into the NBA, but they did buy the Mavs, so that is like that's crazy. Speaking of the Mavs, I did just see something come across my phone. Mark Cuban but giving a total of $35 million of bonuses for all Mavericks employees.
No shit.
Yeah, so that's definitely the next.
Wow.
I'm trying to work for Mark Cuban.
Yeah,
if
well,
that's
he
the
just
case.
sold a bunch of his share of the
He
the
sold-
ownership, right?
I was looking at it today. Just we were talking about it. He sold it for I think like more than $3 billion. He bought the team
Wow.
for $280 million, and he sold for $3
Jeez.
billion.
What a great. When did he buy? Do you remember when he bought?
2000. Actually, no. I think before 2000. I think it might have been like the late 90s, if not late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. That's what a great investment that
Flip,
was.
man. That's a flip. That was like a net profit of 3.1 billion. Like
Wow.
something like that. It was like he sold for like 3.3 billion or 3.4 billion. But a net profit of 3.1 billion dollars.
Wow,
So
that's he's gonna pay some heavy taxes on that, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And it still retains ownership of the team as well. Like that's he's a crazy man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's cool that he's like basically giving back some money to the people that actually make the organization
make it
successful.
Yeah, but
the people that are there every day. That's
working
cool. Yeah, it's like I remember recently did something similar. I think it was Taylor Swift. Gave $50 million in bonuses
to the whole tour
to
crew.
like the tour crew. Yeah, that's a baller move. Like
big time.
kudos to that. That's a good
try to
chunk
buy
of
a ticket
change.
for Taylor Swift?
No,
Yeah, Jenny doesn't like Taylor Swift, right?
she doesn't not
like
like her,
outwardly,
but she's
doesn't
she's not a stan by any means.
Yeah,
you know,
no. Sierra does enjoy her Taylor Swift.
I enjoy. I
enjoy
would
it.
love to go see Taylor
I mean, yeah,
Swift.
it's
I wouldn't pass.
I mean, who's trying to not see
I'm not here to
an
pay.
icon?
I'm not trying to pay like $1,000 to see her.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
it was crazy. It was crazy expensive. I was like, take one look at it. And like, nah, I didn't even. I can't even get the pre-select. I didn't get nothing. No
Oh
early
man,
ticket
Taylor
access.
Swift at the Sphere would be a baller show.
That'd be
Imagine
if they're
it would-
looking to the Sphere's looking to make their money back.
It's just not big enough for her. You know, she's doing
But that'd be
stadiums.
like, oh yeah.
I don't know
But
how many people can fit in the Sphere, but it's definitely not
nowhere near
anywhere.
a stay or an arena. if
Yeah.
that.
So Sphere seat count. Let's
arena
see
holds like about
what do you how many seats do you think it can hold?
Say like 10,000.
It's 18,600.
So it's about like an arena. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like an arena.
Well,
number.
that's seats, and then standing floor room is an additional like 1,400. So all in, you could pack in 20,000 people there.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of.
That's a good amount of
That's a good amount of people.
Yeah.
Like
Look at
Red
the
Rocks
trip,
is
like-
like one of the most popular outdoor venues, and that will fit, I think, 9,000 people.
Any memorable performances at Red Rocks?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a handful of people there, but my favorite one was probably Kings of Leon. Yeah, so it's 9,500 is the capacity at Red Rocks. That's a great, because it sounds amazing. You know, some places you go, a lot of shows I've seen at like Ball Arena, which is where the Nuggets play, the sound gets really like muddy easily. It's just not like a venue built and engineered around like acoustics.
Yeah.
One of the great things about the Sphere was that there's speakers behind the video wall at almost at every point. So it's,
Wherever you're sitting, you're getting the
yeah,
best quality.
so you're
sound.
getting a really good sound.
Yeah.
I thought the sound was pretty good there. It wasn't bad. It's just some weird things you need to like take into account, you know, when you're designing a place that's like a circle. It's
How
like
does it sound at Red Rocks?
amazing. Yeah,
Because you have like, I mean,
yeah, you
'cause
have
the way the mountain is, like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah, you have two
angled
rocks on
up.
each side that are angled up, and you know it's on the side of a mountain, so it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's such great acoustics there.
The only way your voice is traveling is like directly up into the crowd and everybody sitting in front of you. Now, I definitely want to see a show at Red Rocks just because it's Red Rocks.
Yeah, and there's like not a ceiling on top, so like, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of places and surface area for the sound to bounce off, and that's really what fucks you up with sound is hard surfaces. Like here, where we're recording in my basement at this bar.
At the Lucky Duck.
At the Lucky Duck.
At the Lucky Duck.
It's if you had like condenser mics, which are basically it's a different. We're speaking into dynamic mics, but a condenser mic will pick up everything, like the reverb bounce, like my voice bouncing off the ceiling, off that wall. It'd be picked up on your mic, and yeah, it's just like you got to think about those things when you are designing a place for people to enjoy sound, mostly, so. But just to go back to Vegas, I think one of my favorite things one of the things I would recommend is go see a show. First off, it's like some of the best entertainment, like live entertainment. Whether it's like a comedy show, there's tons of comedy shows there. There's tons of like Cirque Soleil shows. Right? Yeah, it's like weird acrobatic stuff. There's a great company. Entertainment company called Spiegel World, which puts on these like very intimate circus acts that are themed. Like one of the best shows in Vegas is called Absinthe.
Okay,
it's right outside. It's like the circus tent that's permanently installed at this point, right outside Caesars.
Isn't that like a drink as well? Isn't that like
Absinthe? It's a liqueur.
It's a liqueur. Yeah, like it's like death.
Yeah. It's like high proof. I think it's like 50% alcohol at some cases. They used to make it, and Europe is pretty popular back in the Dizay, and they used to like claim it had like hallucinogenic properties.
I know
to
what it is because I remember you seen You, the Netflix show.
Yes, the first season.
Nah, well, if you continue on, there was like a little fun time with absinthe that.
Oh yeah,
they say they portray it like with a lot of like hallucinogenic like properties and.
Yeah, that it got outlawed during Prohibition here, and I don't think they've ever loosened that restriction up. So you can't necessarily buy the stuff. It's like got wormwood in it, I think, is what causes the effects. There's a bottle back in the back bar that has wormwood in it, but I don't think it's
definitely not that strong.
Yeah, not that strong. I don't like the taste of black licorice, which is what it tastes like.
Okay,
it's like straight up black licorice.
Yeah, it's a no go.
Not for me, dog. Yeah,
no. I'm not even that big on drinking in general. Just like but a nice taste in elderberry margarita though. That's different.
I'm like a 1 to 2 cocktail if I'm drinking. And I don't drink during the week, but on the weekends, I'll have like 1 or 2 if I decide I want to have a drink, I'll have like 1 or 2 cocktails.
It's like a concerted effort though. It's like I'm committing. It's like all right, I gotta get these drinks in. I gotta do this. Like, I gotta at least have like 1 or 2. Listen up, have a good time.
Yeah, so the Absinthe show, it's like in the round, so it's like a round stage, and then there's seating all around it, and they do these little mini acrobatic like circus acts, and it's like a burlesque type of like sexy, and it's like music to it. It's just a good the way they've engineered it, and really they have like a story that goes a theme with it, and there's like a host, and he's eccentric, and just it's really, really cool. It's kind of expensive. Everything in Vegas is expensive.
Everything.
Everything. It's like the Vegas tax or something. I don't get it, but yeah, drinks are expensive. Food is expensive. Entertainment, the lodging is expensive.
And when you're there, you're just gonna pay it.
Yeah. I mean, that's if you agree to go. That's you have to like sign up for that type of thing. Yeah.
No, we've been pushing it for my parents. Like, make sure that they go enjoy it. Like, do as much as you can. Like, see it. And like, they never been, so they're super excited. They're super excited.
I like to go. I go like I don't know 3 or 4 times a year because it's so close to where I live. I can just hop on a plane in like an hour and a half. I'm there.
Solid flight.
And it's like I've gotten flights for like $30 round trip to Vegas.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like the best time. It wasn't like the like flight time in terms of like when you leave. It was like I don't know 1 in the morning. Yeah. But hey,
It's not
$30.
bad. That's $30 though. That's 30.
I think it was like Spirit Airlines too, which absolutely
You're not even
sucks.
reclined. You're like angled forward. Like,
Yeah.
You're like at an acute angle.
Well, they Spirit Airlines just discontinued all their flights out of Denver.
Well,
They just like pulled back, which everybody when they like posted that, everybody was like, "Thank
thank
God.
Like, finally, don't
You
even give me the
suck."
option. Don't even.
Frontier
let me do
sucks just as much. They suck just as much.
We flew American on the way here, and then we're flying. We're flying United back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So not looking forward to that. But
United's probably my most preferred airline. I like Delta a lot too. They're pretty good.
Southwest.
Southwest is okay. You know what I don't love about Southwest is like the uncertainty of where you're going to sit. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Or who are you gonna sit next to?
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
I could be like squeezed in, like in the middle, or have like a toddler sitting next to me. Like,
Yeah. I think some of the worst plane rides I've ever had were on Southwest. Just from like I don't know. It wasn't anything that they did. It was more like the situation I was in, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think I just associate that airline with bad memories.
I just started like enjoying my flights because, as you know, my motion sickness is quite. I don't know if I ever. If
No,
even-
you got motion. You got motion
I
sickness
got like
issues.
bitchitis, something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, something like
Is
that.
that where if you sit in the back of a car, you get really
Yeah,
sick?
even then, yeah, like if I'm sitting in the back seat of a car and I'm like, I look at my phone for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
like, I'm
Spinning.
automatically like, all right, I gotta like sit up and
Yeah,
like,
get
look
nauseous.
forward. Yeah, I get nauseous like so.
I'm the
easily.
same way. I always have to like sit either in the front, any of the front seats. Obviously, like either driving is the most optimum.
No, always the most preferred. Always be in control of the vehicle.
Yeah.
But no, it sucks. But we got like these patches
It's like
that
jasmine patches or something.
no, they're called like I don't even remember what they're called, but you place them in the back of your ear, and they like soak the medicine in through your skin. And
Does it actually work?
Oh yeah, no, I
Really?
put it on for the cruise that we went on.
Yeah.
a couple months ago, and then the flight last week to here.
Really?
Yeah, and I was chilling because
I
mean,
don't
I've
ever have that issue on a plane.
I've
never
had some bad experience on a plane.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been terrible. Like,
I mean, I've had some bad turbulence on a plane, but I've never had where I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna puke."
no, it sucked. We were like landing the plane,
Yeah.
and I started puking. It was terrible.
I have puked on a plane.
on Sierra too. I puked on. Yeah, I
Ew,
puked
that's so
on-
gross.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse. Actually, I will take it back. The flight I was on, that was probably the worst flight I've ever been on, wasn't on Southwest. I'm sorry, Southwest.
Sorry, Southwest. Take that
Even
back.
though I still don't like your airline. It was a Spirit flight.
Give me my damn seat.
Yeah, give me my damn seat. It was a Spirit airline flight, and I was coming from Fort Lauderdale to Denver. It was like after my honeymoon, and I think Florida State was playing Georgia Tech, and I was at an airport bar right next to the gate, and I was drinking some beers. I had like a
Enjoying the
Cuban sandwich. I was enjoying life. I didn't really even have that many drinks. I had like maybe 2 beers.
Okay.
And I get on the flight, like an hour into this flight, which is like 3.5, 4 hours long.
It's a long flight.
I was like half asleep, and I wake up, and like that feeling, it's like right
Where it's,
here,
like, going up.
and it's going up, and I'm like, oh no, I'm
Yeah,
about to
shit.
uke for some. And maybe there was turbulence. I don't really think there was. So yeah, I grabbed whatever I could. I grabbed like a little plastic cup, filled that up.
Fill that up.
Oh, I just went. It went everywhere. It was
Filled that up.
Yeah, filled it.
To the brim.
Oh god, it stunk so
Yeah,
bad.
It's terrible. No.
But
yeah.
the worst part was I had to, and I kept having to go back to puke in the bathroom. I had,
yeah.
I mean, it turned out I had like a food borne sickness thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's terrible.
I had to fly like 3 more hours sitting in
Just
my
like
own
going-
puke,
Yeah,
basically.
No, trust me, I know.
The
'Cause-
guy, Janie was like so disgusted, and the guy next to her in the aisle seat, because I had the window seat, was just like he moved. He was
just
like,
like, let me get
instantly
outta
was
here.
gone. He was like, I'm not gonna deal with this.
No, I've had similar experiences. I had Five
Really?
Guys. Yeah,
Five Guys?
Yeah, I had
And it
Five
messed you
Guys.
up?
Yeah, right before a flight,
Oof.
and Yeah, that was a no-go. We flew from Fort Myers to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to
Wow.
like Maryland.
Dang.
Yeah, no, that was terrible.
So
Some of the
every time,
worst.
so you had to put the little patches on every time.
At first, before I put the patches on, Sierra would like overdose me with Dramamine, and I would just like knock out for like the whole flight, and because like nausea. And so I mean it'd be good
Drowsy.
because like I mean, I just close my eyes and I wake up and we're there.
Yeah.
So at least it was
It's
easy.
nice.
Like just the day would go by faster, but I would just be I would be asleep the entire day. And so but yeah, no,
Dang.
with the patches though, I mean it makes someone who deals with motion sickness, it makes it a lot more tolerable.
So
it's pretty
you
solid.
could never be a pilot then. huh?
God, no. I was telling you, like my friend who's starting pilot school, like he's talked about it. He's like, oh man, you're gonna hop in the plane. I'm scared shitless because like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get on the plane and yak in the plane.
I don't love tiny planes.
No, it's a little
Not
Cessna.
into it.
Like I don't know if I can do that. Like
Don't
I
love
don't
it.
know.
Don't love that
It's
idea.
a scary situation.
Yeah.
because it's literally like 5 of us in the plane.
Yeah.
And somebody
No.
I know too. Like I've known this guy my whole life. So it's like,
Yeah.
now you're flying a plane.
Yeah. Man, I've seen you drink too much where you're puking in the back alley of a Applebee's.
And
There's
now
no way
you-
I'm getting in the plane with you, dude.
No, he's
Yeah.
a good dude though. So I mean, I can't wait to get him. I mean, I might. By might, I mean I'm definitely gonna take that offer. Like,
Yeah, right. It's good. Flying is expensive, so if you have a pilot friend who can like help you fly for free,
Oh,
then
yeah.
that's the move.
Shit. That's if he needs an idea for like a honeymoon gift or like a wedding gift.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
there you go.
fly somewhere.
Little fly voucher.
Yeah, or just take me somewhere. Let's go somewhere.
Mm.
Maybe like to the Keys or something.
Yeah.
That'd be solid.
I get really nervous on planes when they start to like get the turbulence thing
Oh,
going
hell
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I get all clammy and stuff. I
Yeah,
don't know
hell
what
yeah.
it is. I mean, it's like super safe to fly, but I still have that unreasonable voice in my back of my head
Or,
going,
like, we're in this
gonna
big-
crash.
Yeah, we're in this big metal
crash.
hunk flying in
Yeah.
the air at thousands of feet. Like, we're totally
Yeah.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started flying, because I don't know, we
You
never
fly often though. That's the other thing. You fly very often.
often this past year. I mean, I think I flew like, I mean, on United alone, it was like 36, 38 flights.
That's
but
crazy.
then I took like another dozen flights on other airlines. But before, when I moved out to Colorado, I hadn't really flown, but maybe once. I mean, our family wasn't. I'm one of 6 kids, so we weren't like flying everywhere when we
Yeah.
traveled. It's hell of expensive.
Everybody's
We
getting-
drove.
Everybody's getting in the van. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I started flying as an adult, I was still kind of like nervous about it. But I don't know. If you watch and read about turbulence and you actually like do your research, a lot of what you're feeling is very minor. Like even though it seems like you've seen the videos where like people are flying out of their seats,
Yeah.
that's very rare. Like that almost never happens. It does happen.
It does. It has.
But like car crashes happen every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if like you like kind of compare the risk of driving versus flying, it's like almost
You're
a
a li-
no-brainer
yeah, it's a
that
lot
it's a lot safer. But
Mm-hmm.
but when you feel that sudden drop or like the shaking,
that-
a lot of people think like you're falling like 40 feet in the air. You know, like the plane's like dropping suddenly, and that's not the case. It's actually like less than 4 feet of like movement up and down. And somebody explained it to me. I think there was a video I saw, even recently I think it was, where she like had a cup of Jello, and she was like, I think she was an airline stewardess or something like that. And so she goes, this is kind of like a good example. If you're afraid of turbulence or it scares you, if like flying frightens you, like this might put your mind at ease. And so she stuck a fuzzy ball of like, I don't know, like fuzz into the middle of her Jello cup, so where it was like suspended in the middle of the Jello.
Yeah.
And then she like took her spoon and banged the top of the Jello, and where it like jiggled, but the fuzz like jiggled,
barely
but it
moving.
didn't move any closer in the Jello to the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is kind of what turbulence is like, because when you're in the air, you're flying through the air, but there's air on top and on below, basically in such pressure that it like it basically keeps the air the
keeping the air under you and
yeah,
like,
so
the air
like
above you.
the plane doesn't just suddenly drop out of the sky. It won't really move that much.
Just 'cause you're moving at such a speed. And
yeah,
just,
exactly.
like,
And
compared to
the
where
air
you're at.
pressure up there is so intense that like I don't know. It's and did you know that like the air outside of your plane's like -60 degrees?
It's cold as shit up
Yeah.
there. It's cold as shit.
So when you're flying and you're like nice and cozy and you're hugging up against the window and then the glass is like kind of cold to touch, on the other side of that is like -60 degrees,
Dang,
like
that is kinda
-40
crazy. When
degrees.
I was sleeping on the way here, and I was just like, oh, I gotta move my chair back a little bit. I gotta get a little plastic. But damn, -60s. That's
Yeah, it's super cold.
That's very cold. That's
Yeah.
very cold.
In fact, a lot of airplanes don't have AC. They just circulate the air from the outside to the inside, and it's naturally super cold. So that's why a lot of times if you get on an airplane, some of the older planes, when they're sitting at the gate, it's kind of hot inside. It's because and you're like, man, I wish they would turn on the AC. They don't have AC.
You just gotta go. They're just gonna start the plane, and we're gonna go.
Yeah. And what's also wild, I just thought of this, is like they all still have like the no smoking signs, like the icons.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no shit. Like, no, like it would be the wildest thing ever to see somebody just light up a cigarette in the middle of the cabin.
It happens, man. It happens.
I guess so.
That happens in first class now, right? No, I'm playing.
Nah, yeah, exactly. I actually did. Somebody went on like the overhead speaker. It was like one of the flight attendants, and they were like, "No vaping."
Please stop it. Nobody wants.
I have actually. I was in the middle seat once, and I sat next to a dude, and he was like, for the most of the flight, he was kind of like leaning up against the window. He had his like oversized hoodie or something, like blanket or something that he was like hugging or grasping onto, and I saw him take out his vape pen and like take out like a sneaky little hit, and then he like blew into his like jacket, so like the smoke would like
go into the clothes.
so it wouldn't like seep out, but some of it did seep out, and I was like, man, you're getting awfully close, because they'll like ban you from flying.
It was just for like hitting a vape.
Yeah, it's like really, it's illegal. It's like the FAA regulation law, and like you'll get on a no-fly list if they catch you smoking on an airplane.
All over some blueberry raspberry vape. That's tough.
His mango Jewel.
Mango ice. Yeah, my mango.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank God Jewel's not around anymore.
That's such a weird story. How popular and how suddenly they just weren't selling them anymore.
That's because cigarettes are back, baby.
Drunk cigs don't count.
Drunk cigs don't count, and cigarettes are back, baby. Cigarettes.
You know what's
back.
really popular? Nicotine will always be popular, but the Zins.
Yeah, Zins. No, I mean I've gotten offered quite a few Zins, and every time I look at them, like, nah, I don't know if I could do that, man. Like, that's a lot. That's a big nicotine buzz. Like you're taking right to your face, and it's like sitting up there.
It's like an overload of nicotine. Whoever's convincing you that shit's not addictive is a asshole. First off, because it's super addictive.
Yeah, no,
nicotine is extremely addictive.
Well, at least people are doing Zins and not dip anymore. Nobody really does. Actually, I don't.
Tobacco is so
like
gross. Tobacco dip.
Yeah.
I always when I saw somebody doing that, I just got so grossed out.
Dude,
like they had the little like bottle next to them
bottle,
constantly, and they're like
bottle. In high school, like my freshman and sophomore year of high school, that was like. It was bad. Like it was like there was like dip in like the water fountains, or like there was spit bottles like everywhere on the ground.
Well, we went to a high school where like that was the demographic. There was a lot of like self-proclaimed rednecks, you know, where like you're not country at all, but you wear camo.
Yeah, you post it on your Instagram, you're going mudding.
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of I mean, people aren't doing too much. At least I don't see. I mean, a lot of like, you know, like 50, 40-year-old dads are still doing dip at their kids' baseball tournament or something like that, you know, or the coaches. But
if you ever want to get a girl, try dipping, and you won't ever get a girl. like that's such a gross habit. I don't know. Yeah. So I guess the Zins, they're like, it's like tobacco free, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure, but it's still like crazy nicotine buzz.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's straight to your head. It's strong. Like it's super. People are like, they call it like upper deck and
Upper
lower deck.
decky.
Upper decky,
Yeah,
and then lower
I love the
decky.
videos though. They're so
Yeah.
funny.
No, it is. It's
the
hilarious.
the Midwest accent is and the guys just
Pop an upper decky.
you're gonna pop an upper decky,
Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly.
Those are funny. Yeah.
No, that's crazy. But I've never done a Zen. That's it's a lot of nicotine.
Yeah,
in the
I'm
face.
good. I'm good.
I'll steer clear from the Zens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My dad struggles with nicotine and tobacco addiction, and I see how hard it is to quit nicotine, and it's in a lot of cases for a lot of people like impossible. It grabs
when
you.
See, especially in Tallahassee, where every kid my age has. I'm not an angel and say I've never had
Right. Yeah.
before.
We've all
everybody's
had some nicotine.
No, but it's the hold that it has on people, and especially in college. Like everybody has a vape and everybody's like fiending. It's like, where's my vape?
Yeah.
Like punching through the couch. But no, it has a hold. It definitely has a hold on a lot of people, and especially still even the older population. But I feel the older population just smoke cigarettes, you know.
Oh yeah,
just go outside and smoke a cigarette instead.
I know a few people who smoke cigarettes. Yeah, but not a lot of people in Denver smoke cigarettes.
It's too damn cold.
It's not.
It's too damn cold
That's
to go
true.
outside.
I think a cigarette break is kind of an ordeal, I suppose.
No, it's a big ordeal. I mean, dude, it is cold out here, man.
Well,
like, I seek to go outside in Florida.
Yeah,
like back home, like every day, I like to go outside, get some sun. I stick my head out and of the porch at Sierra's house. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. Like, that's enough sun for today. And go back inside. Can't imagine having a nicotine fix
during the wintertime.
During the wintertime, that sucks, man.
Not so much. Yeah, it really doesn't. Like summers here are pretty mild. There's only a few times where it'll dip above 100. But yeah, during the wintertime, it really it's a lot of the days here are sunny, so it makes it tolerable. Like there's nothing worse than being in Colorado in the shade when it's 40 degrees out, because it makes it feel like it's 0 degrees.
Yeah, no, it's freezing. You need the sun.
But if you're in the sun, 40 degrees suddenly now is 55.
Great. No, it feels great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like kissing your skin, and you're just this is nice. But yeah, and then instantly, you step in the shade, you're like, where am I? This is a completely different place. It's so weird. I haven't
worn shorts in days. It sucks. Actually, I wore gym shorts to work out, but then, I step outside, I'm freezing.
For me, I have such white legs, if you saw my legs, how white they are, you'd be like, I'm blind. So this is perfect for me because I get to hide my legs all season long. So it's kind of nice.
I need the sun. I mean, growing up in Florida, I'm just so used to being out in the sun and just out of nowhere, at least having a Florida winter. Because if anybody listening has never had a Florida winter, then I highly suggest it because it's
Florida winter. Yeah,
it's the sun basically. It's basically still summer.
Yeah,
except for a week or two.
Yeah, and then during the summer, I hate Florida summers.
Florida summers suck. They do suck.
I would take a Colorado winter over a Florida summer, hands down.
That's a hot
100
take.
times
I think that's a
over.
hot take. That's a hot
Florida
take.
summer. Florida in late June absolutely sucks.
Yeah, late June sucks.
It's the worst.
You're on a family trip in Universal and you have the worst swamp ass.
I went to a wedding in June in Florida, down in Southwest Florida, and I swore I would never come back to Florida. No. I was like, I don't care who lives here. Bye, mom. Bye, dad. I'm never going back.
No, there's no.
It was that I was that miserable. It was absolutely.
Were you wearing pants?
I was wearing shorts for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, 100%.
I was wearing you know what? For the wedding, I was wearing pants. I take that back.
I would not do that to somebody.
Yeah.
I would not do that. I would not plan. I would not live in Florida my whole life and then plan for a summer Florida wedding.
Yeah.
That's you hate the guests.
Yeah.
You're not getting any good gifts. So everybody's
I was surprised. Yeah. If it wasn't a family member, I would have not gone. Or at least now I know. I don't know. It was a lot worse than I remember, because I grew up in Florida, so I would know. I should know that's how bad it was. But I guess living out here for the last 10 years. In
back.
May, it's going to be 10 years that I've been here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Doesn't it feel, actually, maybe it does feel that like 10 years. I don't know. But living here and then going back, I think you forget a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at least being there and then coming here, I quickly remembered how much sun there is in Florida. And it's just like how hot it is all the time.
Hot.
At least not in Tallahassee, because I mean we spend most of the year in Tallahassee for school. But I mean up Tallahassee, I mean there's seasons up there. There's fall. We got to see the leaves change and the leaves come off. But Tallahassee, I spent my first summer in Tallahassee, and it was a ghost town. But hot as shit though.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It really is a strange place because it does rely a lot on the university for its economic support. Yeah.
Do you miss Tallahassee at all?
Yeah, I do. One of the things that I loved about Tallahassee were the trees.
Trees are beautiful.
I'm a big tree fan.
Trees are beautiful. Taking a nice walk in like some park or
the cover where it canvases over the roads and everything. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to go to Florida State when I was like figuring out where I wanted to go to school. Was it was so different from what I was used to.
Yeah,
because as soon as you turn that I-10 to 75 and you like make that turn, everything south of that is like what I know is Florida. Which is like swamp and Mediterranean style Spanish homes everywhere,
Spanish
suburbs
tile everywhere, Spanish tile
for miles. And then Miami, and then there's like Miami down there, which is this whole other country, basically,
a whole other part of the state.
But once, Tallahassee and above, and I like Georgia, like southern Georgia, all of Georgia is really beautiful. I mean, it's like you get a lot of that tree coverage, and then in North Georgia you get like the rolling the Blue Ridge Mountains, which are like gorgeous. Not as like mountainous as like or rocky as you would see out here, but it still has its own like charm to it. But I went up there. I toured a bunch of colleges down in Florida. I went up there and I was like, this is where I want to be.
Absolutely.
And I was also ready for like a change of scenery too. In that point in my life. And so it just clicked as soon as I got out of the car there. It felt right. It's one of those moments where it feels right and it's undeniable.
Right. Yeah, it feels right.
And you're like, if I don't do this, I feel like I'm making a major mistake.
I think moving to Tallahassee is definitely one of the best things that could probably ever happen to me. Because I did, out of all the schools I applied to at the end of my senior year of high school, the only one that denied me was Florida State. And so I didn't have like any like animosity towards it, or I wasn't like it's just whatever, you get denied, it happens. But then went to go visit Sierra, and then went all around town, campus. And then we ended at the stadium, and it was like 8:00. It was like a nice fall night. Like it was perfect weather, because nights over there, like the weather in Tallahassee is really good, I would say. Sometimes just like for night
nice
times. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at the stadium and it's empty, and I'm just like, this is cool. Like, I feel like I want to do this. I want to be a part of something that's big, because I was going to FGCU, go Eagles. But sadly, I was there for like a year and a half, and it just felt like I was still in high school, basically, because like the campus wasn't all that much bigger than our high school. That we went to.
It's pretty small.
And
you were still living at home too, right?
So just like driving.
There's no difference between that and high school. And
absolutely. And so I was just like doing the same commute. I felt like like that episode of SpongeBob where you're like Squidward is going through like the straight face, where he's like driving, showering. I was doing montage, that. The montage. I was doing that like Monday through Friday, working like another 9 to 5 in between. I just felt like, dude, I was waking up at like 6 to make it to my like 7 a.m. bio class that I had like 3 days a week. And I was like on these drives on I-75, because that's like from the Estates to FGCU is like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
Easily, like with traffic included, like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no accidents. And I was just like, this is boring. Like,
Yeah.
this is just boring. Like, I'm not having fun. But yeah, Tallahassee ended up being a great choice to move to and experience like college. So super ready to eventually graduate this semester.
Was your
too.
first year during COVID, or was that
It
your?
was so I graduated 2019 of
Okay.
of May high school. Then I took a gap semester and I started my first semester of college January 2020. So then that summer is when I was taking summer classes, or at least no, that happened like that was March, right?
March of 2020.
March of 2020. So yeah, it was like the first half of my first semester in college.
Wow.
Ended up starting it all online, but at least that going back to FGCU like after so like fall 2020, we were already back in class. Like,
Yeah.
we were already doing like the hybrid in person and online. So, and at least like with FGCU, it's a lot smaller of classrooms and a lot smaller of a college anyway. So it didn't really feel all too different than if it was like, 100% like capacity, because the classrooms are in general just a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first couple semesters of college was through COVID. So that was a
Weird.
unique experience to say the least.
And then when you went off to FSU, you're like, oh, this is like college in the movies.
Yeah, this is college.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, this is college. Like,
this is like legit brick buildings towering above you.
That's what it was. Like the brick building, the brick like
Uh-huh.
all around, like like the ground, all the buildings everywhere, all the history. And when you look at that, and you're just like, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the history. Like I want to like this is historic. And I want to be somewhere that's been around since the 1800s. Like it's pretty cool to say.
Yeah, and then everything since it's such a big university too, it's like what 40,000 active students on campus.
Huge.
Yeah, so you're surrounded by everybody more or less your age.
Yeah.
And so
The whole city.
Yeah, the whole. I mean, there's like the Capitol there, and you have like legislation there for part of the year and stuff. But where you're at and where you're living and like the things that you're doing and places you're going, it's all just like people in their early 20s, basically.
All trying to do the same thing. Everyone's hungry. Everyone's hungry like to like hustle, and everyone's hungry in general because we're all like college kids in general and broke. But like,
so you got to see for Florida State specifically, you got to see the low points of FSU football, and then some high point.
Best, man. That was what a come up. That was it's funny enough. I don't know. I feel like LeBron like talking about like I called it like years ago, but I remember my first game. I sitting at our first game. Sierra and I were sitting next to each other, and I was like, it wouldn't be awesome like for eventually while we're here we get to like
be good,
be good, and like have like a crazy run towards like a national championship and like and be extremely good. And then this year was the year for it, minus the national championship, but just that experience of kicking ass and taking names every single weekend was awesome. That made the college experience, like that movie college experience of like rooting for your football team, and just like like that made it like cherry on top, especially senior year. Eventually tying a bow on college is like the football team's always a cherry on top.
This year it was especially interesting compared to like when I went to school and we were dominant.
When Jameis was there, right?
Yeah, when we won the national championship.
Better,
That was my senior year.
When they won?
When they won,
That's
and so what for me, like going to the games were awesome, but we were blowing our opponents out by like 30 plus points of margin.
Yeah.
It was like I think we had a couple games where like 60 we put up 60 points and they had like 12 or like 20 points. Like this season it was like really close, very close competitive games.
Second half team,
just coming back.
Every single game was like a comeback. It was awesome. One of my favorite games actually we got to watch was, we didn't even get to watch it like in person, but it was last year's UF game.
That was a good one.
That was it was Thanksgiving. It's always the day after Thanksgiving. So like day after, we drive up from Naples to Tallahassee. On I-75, the whole way is just like FSU car after you see them. Everybody has like their bumper plates and everybody's like windows down and like everyone's on the way there. But we didn't even get to like watch the game like in the stadium. It was so crowded and it was so packed that we got like mushed out. We were like stuck in between.
Did you have tickets?
Yeah, no, we had tickets, but they oversold and then people like sneaking in because it was like because I actually got to see the difference between like when you're extremely competitive and really good versus like when you're not. The level of security is very different. Like there is like it's very different. Like this year we had like metal detectors and there'd be like an actual organized line that you would walk through and cops and everything. But like last year, it was literally like me standing at the front gate, like scanning tickets. And if somebody runs past me, I don't get paid enough to fucking chase somebody and to go get them. So the kids were just running in everywhere. But we got to see like the ugly side of like sports and fandom, like with fighting and everything. That was like it sticks out for me because it was just like this is like some crazy shit. Like college football is like some crazy competitive like barbaric shit. Like this is fun, like this is it.
So obviously the big disappointment of the season was Jordan Travis breaking his ankle.
That was
were you at the game?
I was at the game, yeah.
Really?
And I saw it too. Like you see
no shit?
It, like like you got to like first like it happened and then the oh shit like collectively rose up because we were like pretty high up in the stands. So like,
and you didn't know what was happening at first when it happened because he looked like he just slid,
but he was laying there and like you could see his leg.
And then the replay
happened and then the oh shits traveled up, up the stands and it was just like oh my god, oh shit, and then you look up and they showed it one time. And then like
everybody knew.
It was
game
terrible.
over.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, how were the vibes after that?
Everyone's drunk went away. Everyone like sobered up. Everyone sobered up. It's just like like this is like that. Like this is it. Like, this is it. But shout out to Jordan Travis because he was he definitely got to. And the coolest thing was about this whole run was like watching a player like grow like all throughout all these years. I remember this first year playing with us. I hadn't transferred up here, but Sierra was already at FSU, and just like watching somebody grow and just like get to that point in their career where they're in Heisman conversations, and seeing that, and we got to see a team that grew partially internally, but as well as like some additions from the transfer portal and whatnot, but. That it would have felt great to finish the year with him, obviously, but like so losing out on his performance and his availability was definitely a kick to the face. But it happens. But I got to see like a lot of the stuff that happens like behind the scenes, at least like with the football team.
Oh yeah,
and like the kind of like the
because you're well, explain what you like been interning.
So I am an intern with the strength and conditioning staff at FSU. I intern with a whole bunch of teams, working as a performance coach. So basically it is like so currently I'm interning at the position, so eventually get the position. But it's the coach that's involved with like the maintenance of the players. Creating like their exercise programs and prescriptions, and kind of just keeping them healthy and ready and consistent all year. And then giving them plans to work out with like in the off season, and just like the daily care and maintenance of the athletes, and just like working along with the coaching staff to prepare them for like optimal performance and whatnot. Right. So I got to see a lot of what happens like behind the scenes, just like the level of commitment between like everybody, like all the coaches, all the players, just like the single focus and like the single goal of the team stayed consistent throughout the entire year. Like you could feel the energy. Like when we came in here, it was like it's to work. We came in here like to do business. I didn't get to work with the football team because obviously they're very, very, very selective. Obviously, and that's something that's held like just for. I don't think they even have like any interns or any graduate assistants that work there because it's I mean, it's Division I football.
Yeah,
This
they have like top tier
this
professionals
is
working
top-tier
that.
professionals. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been surrounded by a lot of the coaches,
Sure.
and a lot of them have a lot of pedigree in working in their professional environments, or they were professional players back in the day, and they're coaching now. But seeing that, it's just like this is
It's cool to
it's
be
cool. One is cool
surrounded
and
by that.
it's serious, and but it's probably the coolest experience I've had. And also, when I say that going to Tallahassee was the best thing for me, or the best decision that I could have made, that's definitely like number one reason why I get to work with Florida State.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the gyms. I got to work out in there. I got to work out in the football gym.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you don't.
How
forget
nice
that
is it in there?
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. Is it some of the nicest gyms you've been in?
That's the nicest gym I've
Really?
ever been in. Yeah, 100%. Like, they have the nicest equipment, nicest, like, at least, like, just, like, visually.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like this is badass.
Like the branding on the
branding
walls
on
and
the
stuff,
wall,
the
the
ceiling,
lights,
and
everything, the surround sound, like the music, the technology that they use, like to test the athletes. At least like just like to have like data, like measurable data. Like
it's off the charts.
It's sick.
Sick.
It's
Well, I
like,
guess you would want to make it as state of the art to like for recruiting, right? You like you bring in the potential recruits, and then you're like, hey, this is where you're gonna be working out. Like, how sick is this?
Yeah, this is like they take everything that they do there in terms of performance extremely seriously. At least like the care and the maintenance of these players. Just like the medical staff that I also gotten to work with and just like observe when they're doing things or taking care of the players. I got to like, I was walking by, it was like one of my last days there this past semester, and got to see the recruitment process. Like I walked in on a whole like recruiting episode. Like there were just like all these kids in there, like possible like signees and whatnot. It's just like this is like, what am I doing right now?
That's
like,
cool.
This is crazy. But I do work with a lot of the other teams. My favorite team to work with, definitely the soccer team. That was
women's or men's?
Women's. So we don't have a men's soccer team.
The women's team is so fucking good.
Women's team went undefeated and national champions this past year. They are a group of very strong-minded and very passionate individuals who take their sport and their practice like very seriously. Being in that environment was probably the closest thing to a professional like sports team that there is. At least like from what coaches who work there like have told me, like our our soccer team is the closest thing to a professional team that there is in college sports.
Oh wow!
Like in terms, at least in soccer, at least in women's soccer, this is the closest thing that you're going to get to professional sports. Wow. Like this is like the level of care, maintenance, and just overall like focus that there is between each one of these players. It's off the wall.
And they've won. I think it's the last 4 years, three national titles, right?
Last like 5 or 6, they won the last 3 national titles.
That's crazy.
They were in the semis last year. So the best part of it for me was I got to join. I did a lot more interning with them last semester, and that's like their true off season. They came off a loss in the national championship, and so I got to start working with them right after that, like a couple weeks right after that. In last January, and seeing them from the point of like, all right, like what do we need to do better now? Like how do we get better from here after taking this loss, and bringing in like all these players, like seeing them a year later make it back to the mountaintop and be undefeated and reclaim their spot as champions, like that was like some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. I didn't get to work with them as much this past semester. I was more like floating around, like they're in the gym. I'm gonna be there. Like if I know they're gonna be there, I'm gonna go and intern, show face, and shake some hands and just like talk. But coolest thing, like it's just like being a part of that, like and the fact that at least one of them knows my name. That's the coolest thing. Like it was the coolest thing. At least when you get to a point, like you realize that like all of these players, you know, everyone's human. Like they're all at the end of the day, everyone's a student or just a young adult, same age as me, or and they're just figuring this out as they go as well. But when you see them do superhuman things, like when they're performing at that capability,
all of those players could kick my ass.
Yeah, no, like they're insane. Like they're insanely
10
strong.
out of 10.
Yeah.
10.
Like I'm lugging all these weights around that they have to carry, and I'm just like picking this shit up. And it's like, God dang, like this, like yo, you're strong. Like these people are strong. But on top of that, like the soccer team is the one I enjoy like probably the most, or at least in terms of just like being a part of. I had a lot of hands-on experience working with track team, track and field teams at FSU. Yeah. Baseball as well. Cheer, dance. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. It's for me as like I'm a sports junkie. So like being surrounded by athletes and being in the gym all day. Yeah. And just
especially at a school that has such high prestige in sports.
Yeah.
You know, Florida State's, you know, top 10 school to go play sports at.
Absolutely.
Just about any of the baseball is major at FSU.
We had a
Obviously
down year
football,
last year, but you know, they're going to be bouncing back hopefully this year.
Yeah. And basketball they're decent. They're decent. They're not a top 10 team, but at
the end of the day you go to school at Florida State, you know, it's produced a lot of NBA talent. They also are like it's amazing. Like just the focus that there is for athletics on the campus. I mean, of course, academically FSU like stands very highly amongst its competition across like the country, but athletically as well, they maintain both. At least in terms of like just how elite they are in both academics and in sports. But it's all. I mean, I'm waking up every day like early as hell in the morning, get to the gym, set up, and staying super late in the evening, and closing up the gyms. But it's hard work, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
I think it was my senior year. I got a job for the marketing. For the women's basketball marketing department at FSU.
You're doing social media or
social media graphics and stuff. So they would be like, hey, we're I got access to all the photo shoots that they would do with the players, and they would like in their recruiting they would like say, hey, take this high school player and like put them
on this graph
like to make them look like they're like they're a Knoll basically and like I had to do all these like Photoshop things for them, and I thought it was pretty cool. It got me like interested in sports like of sports the media. Graphics media and then I ended up getting a internship with this gentleman named Elton Patterson. He used to play for the Eagles and the Bengals, I think. He was doing like agency work, so he would sign players and then become their agent and when they get into the NFL. So I did a lot of social media work for him, did a lot of website, brochure stuff, and so
my roommate does the same with he does the social media with women's basketball, did it with women's soccer, and did like media and whatnot for football as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, he works. He busts his ass.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of work, but I liked it, and it definitely helped me get the job out of college because I had a good group of work that kind of surrounded sports, and the guy that hired me out of college was kind of like a sports fan, like a football fan. So he saw that, and I think that kind of like connected us on some interesting level. But after I got that job with the marketing department at FSU, women's basketball, I then started interning for the recreation department. Yeah, their marketing team as well, and so like.
I feel like he's done that exact same thing too.
Yeah. I think it's like a natural progression of like like you end up here at the end.
You're taking pictures for everybody and you're editing everything.
Yeah, so I did that for a little while, and that was I liked the basketball thing better than that gig, but it was cool to see like I don't know the different facets of like what goes on behind the scenes on
Yeah.
some of these organizations, but like kind of like what you're explaining.
Mm.
So you this is like what you kind of want to do.
Yeah.
Professionally, right?
Yeah.
Is sports athletic
strength,
training, strength
so
training.
more so like performance coaching.
Yeah.
So the main goal is to eventually work in some sort of professional environment. The top main goal is basketball. That's the sport I want to be involved with. But really anywhere that I get opportunity. I'm hoping to continue my studies at Florida State.
For your master's degree and whatnot,
and obtain a graduate assistant position over there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I would.
Is that like another 2 years or so?
2 years, yeah. You would get assigned a team, and then you would.
Oh, okay.
So you would be the strength coach for that team, and then you would program and do it. You basically have like autonomy and how you want to coach them and how you want to program them and.
So I'm guessing you're interning right now with a graduate student. Then
intern with a graduate student and with a coach.
Okay,
as well.
yeah.
So it's with a whole bunch of teams. Just depends who you get put with and who you get selected with. I'm hoping for that position, big time, like really, really much so. Just for the opportunity that it would bring. Just to work with a group of athletes and train them and be a part of something and have a hand in winning, be a part of winning in some sort of way and impact winning in some sort of way.
Yeah, you're a winner. You like to win.
I like
don't
to win.
You?
I like to win.
Then why are you a Heat fan?
Oh,
just kidding. I had to do it. I had to throw it out there. I'm a Nuggets fan.
I had to do it.
I'm a Heat fan too. I like watching the Heat.
From South Florida, so
exactly.
Rep them a little
when
bit.
LeBron was playing for the Heat, I was a big fan of the Heat.
I
loved to watch them play.
Of course.
I was a LeBron fan just in general. I love to watch.
Who is it?
Anytime he comes into town, I try to see what I can grab.
The main goal is eventually I get to work out with LeBron. I get to train LeBron. But things that LeBron like cares for, at least in the sense of taking care that contributes to his longevity, taking care of his body and whatnot. That exact thing, I want to be the reason for somebody else's success in that field.
And he's going to be playing with the Lakers until his son gets drafted, right?
Might be going somewhere else. Depends on where his son gets drafted. He could.
Oh, yeah. Because that's his main. That's his retirement goal, right? He
wants to play with his son. I mean,
and then he's out.
Hey, that's that. At 40 years old, you get to play with your son, and you're still.
It's pretty sweet.
You're still playing like LeBron James.
Yeah. But imagine if his son comes in and just completely overshadows him.
Oh
no, overshadows him. That shit's the bed. He gets benched the second game, tears his ACL or something.
Yeah, no, that would suck. That would absolutely suck. That would absolutely suck. But yeah, being a part of that and being a part of of somebody's success like that is definitely is what motivates me to be in the field. And when you grow up playing sports all your life, and then you got to find, at least for me, I want to find a way to still be involved in sports and still have a hand in competition. I want to be. I like to shit talk. I like the
competitive. You like being competitive.
I love being competitive.
Yeah.
And so this is my way in, personally. It's just I want to be a part of, and I love being part of a team too. I like working with people and that camaraderie and the hurrah that you get from being in a team.
Yeah. There is something special that happens when you're in that that group environment. I think it's something biological. Even.
Yeah, no, especially no,
right?
Yeah. The connection that you build on a deeper level. That's more than just about what you say. It's more like the unspoken communication. When you get to a certain point of working with a team that you know that person and you know their tendencies and how to put them in a position of success. Just being a part of that and doing that and helping somebody else succeed. It feels good to help someone else do good as well. Cause I've kind of learned that just working with a certain athlete that I'm thinking of, helping them progress. Then from when we first started working together, they would walk in and not be enjoying what they're doing. And then it's gotten to a point where now at the end of the semester, they're kicking ass and they feel good about themselves. So making somebody else feel good about themselves feels good.
Yeah, you
And
like that rewarding
that
factor
reward
to it.
feeling. Just like, like I help somebody help somebody. Like I help somebody, help themselves. Like,
Yeah.
And so that feels good. And so I like to hold on to that feeling and push that and push it out of somebody else too. Because a lot of people, they don't know how much they're capable of. Sometimes a lot of people put limitations on themselves. So pushing people past those boundaries and getting to a place of where they want to be instead of just like, keeping them in their space of being comfortable.
Yeah, because when they finally get to that point and they're celebrating, you're also sharing that celebration with them.
It's like, yo, like you did that and I helped you do that.
Yeah,
So.
That's really cool. There's a lot of jobs like that, but I feel like they're like in the grand scheme of professional careers, there's not many.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think some that come to mind, teaching, right? What you do, anything that just helps, like nursing or like anything that's like you're helping other people.
Yeah,
like that is like all the reward in itself. Is like, I don't know. I empathize with that. I love that idea, and I wish I had more of that in my career.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it depends on your career. It's a lot more like it's for yourself because it depends on what you do. Because a lot of I guess what we're pushed to do, at least like in this day and age for work and for success, is how to get like the most out of yourself and kind of like how do I put myself in the best position to succeed. But if the way I look at it is like if I can put somebody else in their best position to succeed in some sort of way, that'll help me too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be a part of that. But
rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah. There we go. And I'm like it's not about the size of the wave; it's the motion of the ocean.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I think that's something else, but yeah, I think we get the sentiment of it. Yeah.
No, but that's definitely the thing that I push for. I enjoy. I found that I've walked out of the gym sometimes. I'm just like, I may be exhausted. I may have barely slept last night, but they walked out of there feeling good about themselves.
There you go.
I helped do that. So it's a rewarding experience. And on top of that, just working with some elite athletes.
That was what I was going to say is you get to work with some really talented people, and that must be super cool.
Olympians that are world champions in their sport, and I got to a point where I was working out with a certain individual, and I asked the coach, I was like, this person's like crazy good, like in the weight room, like what they were doing. I was like, they're really strong, or at least they're really fast at doing this certain thing. And the coach chuckled at me, and he was like, do yourself a favor and look them up on when you get home and just take a look. And I was taken away. I was just like, these people are insane. They're
you're in the presence of greatness.
I'm in the presence of greatness and Olympians and people that are dominating on the world stage. And when you think about it, you take a step, a little outer body experience. You think about it, it's like, I'm helping somebody be an Olympian. It's like, what am I doing? It's like, that's probably the thing I ask myself the most every single day is like, holy shit, what am I doing right now? Like I'm standing on the sideline of a field, sitting on the bench with the team right now during an exhibition game. This is insane. This is what I would dream of as a kid, just being around that. So
that's cool. It's awesome that you're given this opportunity to be so close to the action.
Yeah.
And get to sharpen your skills because that's where your trajectory of your career is headed.
Absolutely.
So,
no, it's been a joy. It's been a joy. Hoping to continue it though. I'm not talking like it's over.
Yeah,
hoping
you got a long way to go, brother.
I'm just stepping into this ocean, and I feel like there's so much more I got to learn about and got to know. But that hopefully will lead me to a position and working in a professional team, professional atmosphere. If not, I'll be coaching at Palmetto Ridge High School.
Well, I'm excited for you, man. I'm eager to tune in to hear and follow your story as you kind of make your way and find the right space for your career. There's so many different places you can go to do what you want to do, and
when I'm working for the Denver Nuggets,
when you're looking for the Denver or the the Heat, you ran into Birdman the other day, so maybe
I did run into Birdman.
Maybe you'll be like, hey man, you got some connections.
Yeah, I did run into Birdman, and
he's got connections with the Nuggets and the Heat.
Yeah, so I gotta hit him up. That's not a coincidence. That's the thing. That's not a coincidence. It's crazy. Man, that's a big dude, though.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
He's intimidating.
No, I was unsure of it, and then look down, look at his calves, and I was like, those are birds.
Yeah,
those are all birds.
It's very specific tattoos.
These are very specific tattoos. These are all birds tattooed all over your legs, and I was like, this is definitely Birdman. Yeah, and that's a sign. It's a sign for good things to come when it comes to getting a professional job.
For sure, man.
Just gotta let him know that I know Birdman. I ran into him.
Yeah, we're like friends now at this point.
We're basically friends. Yeah. We're basically friends. We got to talk for a little bit. I wish.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap things up. We're at a good stopping point here. So, hey man, thanks for chilling.
I appreciate
thanks for hanging.
You having me.
Yeah.
On. It's been amazing.
Yeah, of course. I'll have you on next time you're in town. I'd love to keep tabs on your journey as you find your way.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching on YouTube. And if you're interested in audio dramas, check out our new show, Don't Write Me Off, streaming ad-free on all podcast platforms right now.
Yeah.
And until next time, adios.
Shout out to mom, dad, and brother.
Peace.
Peace.